You have stood at the edge of night and wondered whether love still knows your name. You have listened to the echo inside your ribs and feared it was the sound of absence. Hear me now in a voice that does not hurry and does not accuse. Nothing has torn you from my heart. Not the distance you feel, not the silence you fear, not the detours that stretched your hope thin. My nearness is not fragile. My promise does not fray when the road grows rough. I remain closer than the breath that steadies you. You think your story has wandered too far to be gathered, that certain chapters will always sit apart on a shelf that does not belong to you. But I am the keeper of the whole book. I bind pages others tried to scatter. I stitch paragraphs that shame tried to rip out. I recover footnotes of mercy you missed while you were running. I am not a visitor to your life. I am the author who lives within it, writing goodness into places you thought were beyond revision. There are maps drawn by fear that claim to be accurate. They redraw borders around failure and warn you to avoid joy because it never lasts. Do not consult those maps. They are drafted in panic and printed in haste. Walk with me instead. I know the terrain of your heart, the paths that carry you through valleys without sinking, the ridges that give view without pride. I do not lure you into uncertainty. I lead you through it. When your steps hesitate, I match your pace until trust begins to breathe again. When storms arrive, you count the distance between thunder and light and try to measure how long you must wait for calm to find you. But calm is not an event. It is a person. I enter the storm with you, not after it. I speak to the wind without shouting and to the water without spectacle. You expect rescue to look dramatic. Often it looks ordinary, unfolding as a steadying of breath and a clearing of thought, as a conversation that loosens a knot and a decision that chooses peace over panic. Do not despise small rescues. They are the architecture of enduring deliverance. You remember words that wounded and seasons that bruised. You remember rooms where you were misunderstood and tables where your absence went unnoticed. I was there then, and I am here now. I gather the fragments others dismissed and form them into wisdom you can carry without bitterness. I am not interested in making you hard. I am shaping you to be whole. Wholeness does not erase scars. It teaches them to tell the truth without reopening. There is a loneliness that swells even in crowded places. It whispers that you are unseen and unneeded, that the world would turn just as easily without your particular light. Let me contradict that lie with a gentleness that rearranges your certainty. I fashioned your presence on purpose. I traced your voice for particular rooms and your kindness for particular burdens. Your life is not an accident the universe is tolerating. Your life is a chosen point of revelation where my compassion becomes visible. You fear that distance has grown between us when grief lingers or confusion multiplies. But grief does not pull you from me. It pulls me nearer to you. Confusion does not disqualify you from guidance. It increases your dependence on me, which is the door to wisdom. I am not offended by tears or silence. I am not threatened by questions. Sit with me while the world demands speed. Let your heart rest where answers are born from presence, not pressure. There are days when memory edits the past into a museum of regret. You tour the exhibits and rehearse verdicts against yourself. Enough now. Mercy has jurisdiction over your history. I will not pretend you made no errors, but I refuse to let errors become your name. I will teach you repentance that liberates rather than humiliates, and I will lead you into repair that honors both truth and tenderness. Your identity is not an archive of missteps. It is a covenant of belonging. Do not mistake delay for distance. Seeds do their best work in the dark, where eyes cannot verify progress. Roots memorize the path to water long before leaves greet the sun. That is how I am working in you. I prepare you beneath the surface, so that what grows will not topple when attention arrives. I am neither late nor hurried. I am thorough. Goodness that lasts is goodness that is built with patience. You ask whether your weakness has finally exhausted my patience. Hear this plainly. I do not tire of you. I tire of the lies that bully you. I tire of the accusations that borrow your voice to condemn you. I do not join that choir. I sing a truer song over you. Steady, kind, resolute. My power does not require your perfection. It requires your consent. When you admit the end of yourself, You create the doorway where grace enters carrying strength. Your comparisons have become heavy. You keep measuring your progress by the speed of others, your calling by their applause, your worth by their attention. Release these rulers. They bend under heat and warp under pressure. Walk the lane I assign to you. It is not smaller, it is tailored. It will not ask you to counterfeit passion or smother conscience. It will ask you to be faithful in ordinary ways that accumulate into a testimony strong enough to shelter others. You worry about provision. You count and recount until numbers rise as walls around peace. Provision is not a lottery. It is a covenant. I will supply in ways that honor both truth and timing. I safeguard you from opportunities that require you to betray who you are becoming. I bring mentors whose wisdom carries warmth and doors whose thresholds fit your stride. You will not have to force outcomes. You will have to steward trust. There are relationships I am mending with honesty and tenderness. There are connections I am pruning because they drain hope rather than nourish it. Trust my hand. I never cut to wound. I cut to free. I never remove to punish. I remove to make room. Offer blessing even where you cannot offer proximity. Forgive without surrendering discernment. Peace will follow the path of obedience. If this word is speaking to you today, would you support the mission by tapping like, leaving a thoughtful comment? Share this with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so you can journey with us in future messages. Your support helps this ministry reach hearts that are waiting for encouragement. Return now to the quiet center where we meet. Let prayer become the porch where your questions can breathe. Speak simply. Listen deeply. I am not grading eloquence. I am guarding your heart. In this stillness you will notice promises rising, not as slogans, but as steady truths that anchor your day. You will carry peace into rooms that once tutored you in dread, and peace will change the conversation. Remember the rescues that arrived without spectacle, the sudden clarity after sleep, the unplanned kindness in a hallway, the timing that spared you from harm. These are threads of faithfulness woven through hours that did not make headlines. I am not absent from ordinary minutes. I walk the circuits of your day, at the sink, on the road, in the meeting, in the waiting room, and I mark each place with quiet goodness. Suffering tries to persuade you that it is the truest interpreter of reality. It is not. It offers information, not conclusion. I am the one who holds conclusion. I do not rush you through sorrow. I shepherd you through it until your tears water seeds that will one day feed others. You will speak comfort with knowledge, not theory. You will bless the broken from a place that knows both breakage and repair. When fatigue makes courage feel far away, I will lend you mine. Courage is not always a roar. Often it is a steady presence that refuses to evacuate the moment. It is the hand that reaches for truth when panic rehearses catastrophe. It is the breath that returns you to this hour, where grace is actually present. Live in the hour you have. I am in it with you. Honor the body I gave you. Rest is not a concession to weakness. It is participation in wisdom. Eat what nourishes. Sleep when the day is finished, rather than when anxiety collapses you. Walk, breathe, stretch, and bless the frame that carries your calling. Your spirit and your body are not enemies. Treat them as allies and notice how joy becomes more durable. When misunderstanding finds you, stay teachable and stay steady. You can apologize without abandoning truth. You can learn without adopting shame. You can set boundaries without closing your heart. I will teach you this rare balance. It will keep your integrity intact and your tenderness alive. It will allow you to stand without hardening. I am guiding you through decisions that matter. Some paths will look efficient but cost your peace. Others will look quiet but increase your fruitfulness. Choose the path where my presence is vivid, even if it asks for patience others do not understand. You are not racing them. You are walking with me. Let that companionship, not comparison, determine your pace. Nothing can wedge itself between you and my love. Not height that tempts pride. Not depth that threatens despair. Not the loud noon. Not the quiet midnight. Not mistakes you acknowledged. Not wounds you are still learning to name. Even death is not a border I cannot cross with resurrection. You are held in a covenant older than your fears and younger than every morning. You belong, not by performance, but by promise. As night returns, Bring me your inventory. Celebrate small obediences. Release what you could not finish. Entrust outcomes to the one who sees from beginning to beyond. Sleep is trust with your eyes closed. As you rest, I keep watch. As you wake, I give song. Walk into tomorrow with a calm courage born from this truth. Nothing can separate us. Not then, not now, not ever.